What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JBsports back again with another one. The three officers who didn't intervene when George Floyd was being murdered by George Chauvin have now been charged with aiding and abetting. Breaking news has just come down. So all four officers have been charged in the murder of George Floyd. Finally, they come down with the charges. You know, there was a lot of pressure on the DA of Minnesota, Ken Ellison, to bring charges to the other three officers. And finally, those charges have been brought to the other three officers. And the charges will be aiding and abetting. That's going to be the charge for the other three officers. And George Chauvin, who was charged and arrested a few days ago, third-degree murder charge have been upgraded to second-degrry murder. So he's got second-degrry murder and manslaughter. Now, aiding and abetting is a tricky charge, in my opinion. You know, I would think it would have been more of accessory or negligence or some. So that's what I thought the charge would be. But aiding and abetting, that seems like that's more of a charge. Like if a criminal is on the run from law enforcement and you helping them, you giving them money, or you hiding them out in your house or whatever, and they don't know, that's called aiding and abetting a criminal on the run. But as far as officers sitting there not intervening on a clear situation where an officer is murdering an unarmed black man, aiding and abetting seems like that's not the charge I would have been thinking about in charging those three officers. But that's neither here nor there. That's the charge. Each state has different charges and different methods of charges, and that's what the Minnesota police department came up with. Now, there was a lot of pressure on the DA, Ken Ellison, to come with some charges against the three officers, and he finally did that. And people wondered what took so long, and I wonder what took so long. The tape was black and white. As soon as you seen that tape, you should have been pressing charges right then and there. You're saying you got to investigate these things, take time, but you see other citizens don't get afforded the luxury of the police officers when they commit crimes get afforded. They arrest you on lesser evidence than George Chauvin and those three officers got arrested on. Probable cause get you thrown in jail, get you held in jail for what? 24 to 48 hours or something. In some cases, 72 hours, they can hold you on probable cause. And there was damn sure enough probable cause on that video to charge all four of them as soon as you seen that video by their superiors. They should have been pressing charges. But they finally did what the people wanted them to do and what I wanted them to do as far as charging those four officers. And now it's in the hands of the court system. And hopefully George Floyd's family get justice and get the justice for George Floyd, man, because the man was obviously murdered by George Chauvin. So we'll see what happens, man. Hopefully the protesters will continue to protest peacefully, man, because this is just one of many cases involving unarmed black men dying at the hands of policemen. They need to keep that light burning, keep this situation on the people's mind. Don't let it get put on the back burner. Don't let it get swept under the rug. Keep this in the forefront of everybody's mind until we finally get justice served for all people of color that have died at the hands of the police department, of the police force, of the police force. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires. I know a lot of people after these arrests going to be like, okay, that's hopefully that'll stop the people from protesting and that'll stop the people from looting and burning stuff up and doing things of that nature. They've got the arrest of all four charges. Hopefully this will be the end of it. No, this is not the end of it. This is just the beginning. Like I said, it's got to go through the court system, and hopefully justice will be served for George Floyd's family. And we'll see what happens, and we'll see what transpires, man. But that's the breaking news. All four officers have now been charged in the George Floyd's murder. George Chauvin, third-degree murder charge has been upgraded to second degree with the manslaughter charge, and the three officers have been charged with aiding and abetting. Hopefully, in a few more days, maybe that aiding and abetting will get upgraded to a more harsher charge. That seemed like aiding and abetting. That seems like that's gonna carry a real light sentence for them three officers, man. If they get convicted of that, don't seem like that's gonna be no charge. If you get found guilty, you're gonna spend a lot of time in jail. That's just my opinion. I might be wrong. You let me know what you think in the comment section. But aiding and abetting, man, that was the last thing I'd have thought they would charge them with, man. Like I said, that seems like if somebody's on the run and you helping them evade authority, you aiding and abetting them, the criminal or the person in question, the person that's on the run from the authorities. That's called aiding and abetting. I ain't, these guys here, I guess you could say in a way they was aiding and abetting. They didn't do anything to intervene, so they aided George Chauvin by not doing anything. He was able to kill George Floyd, and they didn't intervene to stop the possible murder. So they aided and abetted George Chauvin in the murder of George Floyd. So now that I think about it, now that I talked it out live on video here, I guess the charge is a legitimate charge, now that I think about it. But let me know what you think in the comment section. What you think about all 4 officers getting charged in George Floyd murder? You think it's a good thing? Do you like the charge? Do you think maybe George Chauvin should be upgraded to first-degree murder, which would be a hard charge to prove, a hard charge to get a conviction on? Because first-degree murder is like you left your house like, I'm finna go over here and kill George Floyd. When I see him, I'm gonna go over here and kill him. It's got to be malice. It's got to be premeditated. And it wasn't premeditated because the guy was called on the scene and a situation transpired where he ended up killing George Floyd. So I thought third-degree murder was a little bit too light. So I think second-degree murder is right on point with him, plus the manslaughter charge. And the other officers, what you think about their aid and abetting charge? Do you think that's a good charge to charge them, or you think they should have been charged with third-degree murder charge or something to that ilk, because they were complicit in the killing of George Floyd by not intervening? Let me know what you think in the comment section. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I holla.